Hey guys, it's Olivia. I am back after surviving my second semester studying graphic design. That is a whole full year. So basically this is just going to be another recap of my last semester, including all of the projects and the different struggles that I had and basically just what went on. Okay, so for the spring 2020 semester, I was taking two design classes. They were both foundational classes. So I was taking Design Foundations 3 and Design Foundations 4. We're gonna go over Design Foundations 3 first. In Design Foundations 3, we had a total of 5 projects throughout the semester. So the first project that we had was called Color Book, and it was a disaster for me. That was the project that just hurt me for the rest of the semester. So basically we just had to gather a bunch of different definitions for all this vocabulary that they had given us, and we had to put it in a book as well as have examples in like a creative medium that we chose. So I chose fabric. I just ran out of time. It wasn't even put together. I printed out all the pages, cut them all out by hand, and I just ran out of time when it came to actually binding the book and putting the fabric on the pages cut out the exact way that it was supposed to be cut. So I don't have a finished product to show you, but you know what? Let me show you what it looks like. First of all, this was a book, so it was supposed to have a cover. I don't have that. Second of all, it was a book, so it was supposed to have binding. I did have that, but it fell apart. And third, it should have had examples on every page, but unfortunately, I don't have that either. Yes, I received a 50% on this project. If it weren't for this project, I would have gotten an A. Moving on, the second project that we had in Design Foundations 3 was the cliche project. So basically what we had to do there was pick out a cliche phrase. So I picked out "Time flies when you're having fun," and I'll put the picture right here. So I chose to draw an old couple dancing in their living room, and it was kind of mirrored with this big picture of them on their wedding day also dancing. It was just showing how when you love someone and you're having fun with them, time really flies. I thought it turned out cute. I wasn't too proud with it, but it was fine. The third project in Design Foundations 3 was called Textured Shoe. We had to draw a pair of shoes and basically put these like wacky textures on them. For this project, we had to collect a whole bunch of rubbings, and if you don't know what that is, I'll show you. So you basically just stick your piece of paper on the wall here, and then bam, you have the texture of the wall. We had to make a little booklet of it, and then we were supposed to try to recreate those textures on the drawing of our shoe. And there is what it looks like. This is probably my best project from Foundations 3. I like how it turned out quite a bit. And the fourth project that we had in this class was called Technicolor City. And unfortunately, this is about when the coronavirus hit, so it was all online from this point forward. That being said, Technicolor City was supposed to be a group project, so we were supposed to work together as an entire class to create a city with a cohesive aesthetic and color palette. It was a 3D project. But unfortunately, with us having online school instead of in-person school, we had to change the project a little bit. A lot of us didn't have the materials that we needed from our house. So we all just kind of worked with what we had, and even though it was supposed to be a 3D project, our professor told us that we could do like concept sketches of what the 3D project would have looked like. So the theme that we had chosen as a class was the Day of the Dead. If you've ever seen the movie Coco, it was very similar to that because we had like a dead side and a living side. Well, I was working on the living side and I was doing the graveyard. So I did 3 concept sketches over what the 3D project would have turned out like. So I have more of an isometric view, I have like a front view, and a view from the side. This project was pretty challenging, especially because of the big change that was made to it, but I still think it turned out pretty okay. My teacher did like it, so at least there's that. And then moving on to the very last project of Design Foundations 3 would be the exterior render. So this project was taking all of our knowledge that we learned from this semester in Foundations 3 and from last semester in Foundations 1, and basically just combining it all into one big project. So the assignment was just to draw a realistic house and render it basically as far as you can go to make it look really realistic. I actually used a house in my neighborhood as reference, and here's how it turned out. Yeah, I really like how it came out. Alright, and then moving on to the second class, Design Foundations 4, which is gonna be the more design-based class rather than drawing-based. We had a total of 4 projects in that class, starting it off with Origami Herd. So right off the bat, our professors decided to drive us insane with the art of origami. So for the project, we basically had to pick a fairly complex origami animal and then replicate it 4 times so that we had 5. I recall this as being extremely frustrating. After we made all the origami animals, we had to bring them into the studio and photograph them in ways that conveyed certain words. So like playful, heroic, etc. So here it is. This project, once you got past having to do origami and being very frustrated with that, was pretty fun, and I think it turned out pretty good. Okay, the second project is foam core. Now, if the last one didn't seem frustrating, this one is frustrating. So if you don't know what foam core is, it is just a large sheet, like a big sheet of foam. Not the bendy kind, it's like hard foam. Basically, we had to take a sheet of foam core and make it into something without removing any pieces or cutting it all the way through, so that whenever you undid your project, it would look like the full sheet again. So for the students, this took some major brainstorming and a lot of patience. My professor got particularly mad at me for this project because I kind of found my idea early on and then settled with it instead of advancing it further. Yeah, he didn't like that. I think I ended up getting a C. Which is a bummer because even though I didn't develop my idea, it was still pretty cute. I mean, look, it's a squid! Oh my god! I know it was a simple design, but it was cute, alright? Don't talk to me or my son ever again. Anyways, the third project that we had in Design Foundations 4 was called Chaos to Connection. For this project, the concept was that we had to design a magazine spread. The reason it was called Chaos to Connection was because our professor gave us 2 words and we basically had to mind map it out into like a concept. And taking that concept from the mind map, we were to write an essay about it, and that was gonna be the text on our magazine spread. I had a lot of fun with this project, and if I wasn't roasted by my professor, I'd probably like it a little bit better. These design professors will literally roast you to no end. Anyways, for this project, I decided to write about witchcraft and its kind of newfound popularity, like mainstreamness. So here's what it looks like. I got an A on this, by the way, but my professor did think that it was a little silly or like kind of juvenile that I used the fade on the word mainstream, which retrospectively makes sense, but it kind of looks cool, right? Someone tell me that I'm right. All right, and then our final project with Design Foundations 4 was called Nuts and Bolts. So this project was all about package design. Basically, we had to pick out a little nut or bolt, like from a hardware store, and design a little box for it. One of the requirements for the project was that we had to do a vector illustration of our nut or bolt. If it wasn't for the frustration with the vector illustration, this project would have been really fun, and it still was, but I did struggle a lot with the vector illustration. Consider also this is again when coronavirus kicked us out of school. So I was all on my own trying to learn Illustrator because this was the first time it was introduced to us, so we did have to learn it all by ourselves. Regardless of that struggle, I did have a super fun time with this project, and I really hope to do some more product design in the future. Here's how it turned out. I have it back here. So there it is in real life. It's cool that you get to make something and you can actually hold it in real life. Super duper fun. So that there was the final project. And then at the end of the semester, we had to take all of our pieces from the entire year, pick out the best ones, and put them in a portfolio. Usually this is done through something called Critique Week, which is usually an in-person experience, but COVID-19 definitely did ruin that, so it was online. Technically, the final grade in Foundations 4 came from the portfolio review. So basically a bunch of design professors just get together and poke fun at your work, roast you a little bit, and basically see what you're working with. I received an 83 on my portfolio, which is fine. I really would have liked to get an A, but that only encourages me to work harder. But yeah, that was my entire 2020 spring semester as a graphic design student. I am super excited for this next upcoming semester, but it looks like it's gonna be really busy. We're gonna give it our best shot. My freshman year as a graphic design student went pretty well, I think. I've already learned so much, but I can't wait to learn even more. I've definitely learned how hard this major is going to be and how busy I'm going to be, but I keep uncovering new passions and I really do love it. I'm so happy to be able to be in this major and hope to one day be able to do it as a career. So thank you for watching my recap. I hope everybody enjoyed. If you have any questions, let me know. And I will see everybody next time. Bye!